a museum dig today. Can't show you where I am, but all I've found so far is a 50 calibre. I think I found my first coin down there. Look, that's it. There's a coin. Yeah, looks like an old penny. I'll come back to you in a minute and give it a quick clean. Oh, can't get much off it. I can see on top there it's got Victoria on it, so it's got a big lump of crust on there, and the back ain't much better. So it looks like it's a Victoria penny. Okay, on to the next one. Right, just come out of that hole there. Looks like probably a flare from a berry pistol. A big one. Right. Yeah, just come out of that hole there. Look. Tiny little pistol ball. Right. Onto that. Sort of got a coin there. Look at that. But I think it's actually a button. See there's a bit in the middle there? Looks like the shank's come off. Sorry about the wind. It's howling here at the moment. Right. Let's see what else we can find. We're not finding a great deal. How about that for a serious bit of Boris? Oh God, that's heavy. I think that can go back in the hole. What the hell it is? It's damned heavy, I know that much. It's one hell of a big chunk. Anyway, let's put that in the hole and get going again. Just dug up a Roman. I'll tell you what, I wish we had smell-o-vision. This field absolutely.
Yeah, it does smell quite funky, but I'll kneel in the stuff
He's
now.
He's kneeling in this, I'm not kidding.
Oh.
It is, you look at it down there, it is, well, there's a saying about someone being up a creek. Now look, they're covered in, people like cow poop. Come out of that hole there. All I've been finding is lead and bits of aluminium and foil. Got a nailed into it, some of these. Well, keep on going, it's piddling with rain as well now, as well as blowing a gale. Yeah, Ben, if I could sing, would that be classed as an unchained melody? Oh dear. Oh, I could be a member of the chain gang. It's a big old lump. Sorry about the wind noise. Right, off right, just coming out of that hole. First decent find I've had in ages. Look at that, Spratz Moto Spirit it says. That's a nice collectible one. Give that a clean up, that'll look nice. It looks like Jeff's coming, he's bringing Sooty with him. Here comes Sooty, look. Yeah, it could be a cube, yeah, with a tail on it.
But with a definite A, but
yeah.
elephant's clear of bugger.
Phil just found this. On one side it's got an elephant, and on the other side it's got what looks like a Q and a 4. Got some writing around it, some sort of token. And how thick? The thickness of that. Not bringing him again, he keeps finding all the good stuff. Right, on to the next one. Getting ready to go home, the finds are coming out. Look at that, look. Horse's head. It's a lead one. That's nice. Hope that's focusing. Interesting. Very typical. We've got about another 15 minutes and we're going to go home. Hours finding nothing, and suddenly when we're going to go home we start finding stuff. Right, on to the next one. I think I just found a silver pencil holder. And if I unfold it slightly, look, the pencil's still in there. So we don't lose that. Oh, right, that's fun trying to find that. I think that's a little watch winder. Could be wrong. Nice days. That's what it looks like anyway. Little tiny watch winder. Right, put that in my pocket. That is. side. We give it a good scrub when we get up. Right. Good morning everyone. Welcome to my roundup of yesterday's hunt. This, as I say, this isn't all my stuff. Some of this is the lad stuff as well. They gave me a few bits and pieces to clean up for them. Before I go on, I'd like to say a big thank you to some of the new subscribers I got in the last couple of days. It's much appreciated. I will be sending you a message when I get round to it. And let's get on with it. Right. There's all sorts of bits. Some of it I haven't got a clue what it is. I think Phil found that. I've given it a quick blast. I'll do some more. It's not dried properly yet, so the sandblaster don't like things with wet mud on. Works much better when it's dry. So, see, it's got a screw on that end. I've got a clue what that is. There's all sorts of iron. I found loads of iron. I think this was either Dave or Jeff's. It is the back end of a 50 cal bullet. Same with that one as well. Blown to smithereens. Had up bits of aluminium. That was my little horse's head I found. I think that's made of lead or pewter. But it looks like I got quite a bashing, whatever happened to it. It's quite nice. I like these kids' toys. Shows there was occupation in the area. There's a bits of oxygen bottle, these bits here. There's a Pratt's Moto Spirit petrol cap. I always like finding those. I think virtually every one I found has been different. Someone lost a caster off of their trolley of some sort. Don't know what that is. A bit of, I think it's brass tubing. It's been burnt, really black. But it looks like it's been rubbed on something. You can see where that's worn away there. There's a brass screw, another big bit of Boris. Got a clue what that is. I found loads of big bits of chain. There's a lead washer. Another bit of lead folded up. Did check it to see if there was a curse in it, but there wasn't. That's the remains of the tip of a 50 cal bullet. It's taken out of a bloody walloping. That's some kind of brass knob. You can see there's a screw hole there. Dave thought this was a knob. As it turns out, it's a tyre valve. It's soft. That would it come off a tractor or something like that, I don't know. Found a little bit of clay pipe. So obviously they say there was people working those fields. Bit of door handle furniture. I think Phil found that. It's some kind of hinge bracket, I don't know, that obviously was in the hole with it, snapped off of there. A hell of a wallop bent it. And whether it was a belt buckle or something like that. It's all sorts of little bits of copper. I think that was a clip to put a pipe in or something like that. Little more bits of copper. That's been in a fire. I cleaned that up in the sandblast. You can see on one side it's really, cruddy. Inside it was just burnt ash in there. You can see it's partially melted. I don't know what that came off of. That knew exactly what that was as soon as I saw it. That's the remains of a button stick. You had a slot in the middle. You slid that over your brass buttons, and you could polish your buttons without getting the brass on your uniform. I know. I used to have one when I was in the force. Right, so other bits of copper. We kept finding loads of these aluminium triangles. Now, what the devil they are, I don't know. I think I found 3 or 4, and I think Phil found quite a few as well. Found a nice big bit of glass. That is really old stuff. Looks like the bottom of an old bottle. It always intrigues me when you find this sort of stuff. Anyway. There's all sorts of other little bits and pieces. There's a couple of big flares. I should imagine they used these to tell the aircraft they could take off. That at first I thought was a stud, then I noticed there's a thread in there, so that looks like it's the top off of a lead tube of some sort. It's all knurled round the edge there, and I think that's the remains of the top. but there is a thread under there. I found this little tiny thing. I had a job finding that. There's a little tiny piece of copper. Well, what the hell that was used for? Anyway, I think that was one of Phil's again. That's a bit of plumbing fitting, I think. That was, I thought at first was a coin, turns out remains of a button. A little tiny watch winder. And a little 4-hole button, that's an old one. I think that was again Dave's. And I think, Dave, if you're watching, that's a battery terminal. That's lead there. It's got a collar you can unscrew there, and it's threaded on the end. Quite heavy. So I think that's the remains of a battery. I still haven't worked out what the writing is on there. It's got some writing on it. It's got something about copyright. Can't get the rest of it. But we will find out. I found a bag seal. It's got SH on one side and either EI or EJ on the other side. I thought that was something, but it turns out I think it's just a bit of squashed lead. I don't think it's a bag seal or anything. All sorts of bits of copper. There's a right angled, there's a hydraulic fitting of some sort. It's got AP on one side and I think that's number 4 on the other side. Little pistol ball. A sweet little, I think it's a upholstery pin, something like that. That's one I found. There's a knurled shaft off of something, don't know what that is. Piece of alloy, I tell you what, I don't know if that's magnesium alloy. That is so light, it's unbelievable. I don't think it probably weighed about a gram. Dave tells me this is possibly the end of a 16th century spoon, trefoil spoon. I will look it up later on, and if I can find a picture of it I'll put it on when I upload this video. I think that's part of a bearing. It's got a concave groove around the back of it. Found all sorts of bits of pottery, so it just goes to show there was occupation in that field. There's a bit of modern pottery there, can't make out what the logo is on it. All sorts of bits of cans, loads of lead, that's a lead cable, lead pipe, lead sheet. This got to be pretty old. That's a lead pipe with a reducer that he been soldered into it, look. I think Dave found that. I think Dave found that as well. That is also lead. So whether that's a lead pipe with the end sealed off. And my one little bit of silver. I started to polish it and it started to come up. You can see it. I don't want to polish it too hard because it is very, very delicate. And part of the pencil's still in there. That there, if I zoom in a little bit, look, that is what is left of the pencil. You see there's just a little tiny stub left in there, the rest of it's still inside it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. We enjoyed the hunt, even though the field was absolutely full up with manure where they'd spread it over the field. I could still smell it this morning when I got up. I stunk. I don't know what Jeff and Dave were like because they were plastered in it. I bet they're oh no, Dave hasn't got another half at home, but Jeff has. I bet he was, his missus was pleased when he walked in the door. Anyway, I'll go and upload this onto YouTube now, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye for now.